Alright, so quite a bit of racing happened this week. We had an ARCA East season opener at Five Flags Speedway, meaning all three branches of ARCA have now completed at least one race this year. The F1 season continues to roll on, and IndyCar is officially back in business, doing what should have been done last year, and that was make Thermal a points-paying race instead of a stupid all-star exhibition race for money. But anyway, let's go over this weekend recap and see how everything fared this week. Starting off, we had the ARCA East season opener at Five Flags Speedway, and this race was the Max Reeves show in his first career ARCA East start, making his debut, got the pole, and just dominated this race from start to finish. Even though you had Tyler Reif get up there, and you had Cole Raz up there trying to contend with Reeves, just Max Reeves would not be denied tonight. And in his first start, he wins in his main debut and gets his first career ARCA East win. So Max Reeves is officially a winner in the ARCA East Series. So looking like Max Reeves might be the challenger for the championship this year. You have Cole Raz and Tyler Reif in there too. Like ARCA East looks like it's going to be a Y. ARCA East could be the interesting championship. But I mean, be honest, not much really happened. It's Five Flags and it's ARCA East. ARCA East is usually the worst of the three ARCA series. I got the two regional series. ARCA East is usually the worst of the two. West is easily the better of the two. And, of course, main ARCA is main ARCA. But, I mean, usually Five Flags has been pretty bad for ARCA East. I don't know. Maybe it'd be better if it was a main ARCA race. But, you know, we can all dream, damn it. Maybe someday Five Flags will get main ARCA. I mean, the track is capable of hosting like 30, 40 cars for a race. I mean, Five Flags hosts a goddamn snowball derby every year. So maybe someday we'll get main ARCA at Five Flags. Someday. Or we could just swap this race out and put New Smyrna in instead. That can always work too. So after last week in the US at the brutal start time of midnight for Australia, F1 fans on the East Coast in the US would have another brutal start time, as this weekend's race would start at 3 in the goddamn morning. Dear God, I want to kill myself just waking up at 3 in the morning. Because, and wondering why it starts at 3 a.m., you ask? Because if F1 is returned to the communist shithole known as China. Man, I fucking missed those 3-4 years we didn't have to go to that shithole country. I did not fucking miss this track. I fucking dread it. And honestly, this race, well, the sprint race, it started off pretty promising, as for some parity, as Lewis Hamilton set a new track record during sprint qualifying, and then dominated the sprint race. The sad thing for Lewis and Ferrari is they could not translate that speed to the actual race. Wow, all that fucking speed for Lewis and Ferrari when it looked like Ferrari was finally going to get their shit together. Nope. Dick punch back to reality. And then for the race itself, it was mainly the McLarens show with Piastri and Lando Norris. And of course, near the start of the race, he had Fernando Alonso lose his brakes. He lost his brakes, giving him a second straight DNF to open the year. Wow, 2 races, 2 DNFs for Fernando Alonso. Not a good start for the old bastard. But yeah, outside that, and of course, we also have the second driver dilemma at Red Bull, as Liam Lawson is once again dropping the ball. He couldn't even make it out of fucking round 1 for sprint qualifying. It's like seriously, what the fuck did Red Bull see in fucking Liam Lawson over Yuki Tsunoda? Like, honestly, I think it's very clear that Red Bull made a mistake putting Liam Lawson in the second car to replace Checo over Yuki Tsunoda. Hopefully Red Bull fixes those changes in times for Japan in a couple weeks. But yeah, not really a good start for Red Bull this year when Max Verstappen single-handedly carrying the team to relevance. But yeah, like the highest non-finishing McLaren car in this race was George Russell in third for Mercedes, which, hey, not a bad run for George and the Silver Arrows. But yeah, McLaren dominated this race from start to finish. Even the McLarens decide to let Lando and Piastri race each other in no team orders, let them race. Oh, now you let them race. Where the fuck was this shit back in Hungary last year when you told Lando to pull over for Piastri? That bullshit. Oh, now you let him fucking race. Fuck off, Zach Brown. Fucking piece of shit has something against fucking Lando, I know it. Like, Zach Brown's gonna fucking cost Lando the championship, isn't he? And yeah, Oscar Piastri went on to win this race with Lando finishing second. So now both McLarens have gone on to win races. And of course, after this race, you thought for a race that had next to no drama, it was gonna be drama-free, right? Nope. All the drama for this race comes in post-race, cause hold up, we got a few penalties. Beep, beep, beep. Because the first pair of penalties came on the Lab 1 incident in Turn 1, when Lewis Hamilton would chop block Charles Leclerc and knock a piece off Leclerc's car. So at the start, we had some Ferrari team turmoil with Lewis and Charles. Of course, the plank on his car was deemed to be too wide for FIA standards, and Lewis Hamilton was disqualified for the race. So Lewis got DQ'd for the car being too wide on the plank. And then for Charles Leclerc, him and Pierre Gasly were also disqualified for the cars not meeting minimum weight. Well, for Leclerc's car, I think we all know why that car didn't meet minimum weight. I think the weight he needed was the piece of the front wing that came off when Lewis chop blocked him. So yeah, just when it looked like Ferrari had it together, nope, Ferrari gets low cal of the week. Damn, just life as a Ferrari fan is nothing but getting kicked in the dick repeatedly. Maybe someday Ferrari will figure their shit out, but I highly doubt it. Meanwhile, McLaren now steamrolls their way in the Constructors' Championship, and Lando pulls away for Verstappen in the driver's title. Just man. And now moving on to the IndyCar race, and for this segment, I'm bringing my kitty Bubba into this because he's been nothing but a fucking pest to me throughout this recording, sitting right beside me, so he wanted to be nothing but a pest, so I decided if he wants to be a pest so much, he can come join the recording. So, Bubba, say hi. He says hi. So, the IndyCar race at Thermal, as, yeah, this race is actually a points-paying race and not a stupid all-star exhibition for money. Thank fucking God that was stupid what they did last year with it. Even Bubba agrees that was stupid. But yeah, anyway, the race itself, this race was mainly dominated by McLaren and Pato O'Ward. Mainly just Pato O'Ward, and Christian Lundgaard was just there. Just there as support for Pato. Like, it was literally like the F1 race. Except we missed actually quite about 10 laps of it because around the midway point of the race, the IndyCar production truck had an electrical issue and Fox lost the feed to the race. Lost the feed so bad to where they were forced to cut to the Cup race at Homestead for about 10-15 minutes while they figured out what was wrong with the truck and trying to get the race back. They even lost the scoring for it. And also a lot of the drama in this race all happened right at the very start when Devlin DeFrancesco got into Scott McLaughlin before the race even started. God damn, DeFrancesco already committing vehicular terrorism in IndyCar, and the race hadn't even started yet. That's a new low. And of course, DeFrancesco has realized that this isn't NASCAR, and IndyCar actually has driving standards here. So, pass through for you. Beep! But yeah, that's honestly not a good one for Fox to lose the race. After a lot of praise we said for Fox's coverage for IndyCar season opener at St. Petersburg, that's not a good look for them. It was overall a solid broadcast, but, you know, losing the feed of the race is going to be a big negative, especially a lot of support coming in this week when Fox actually showed how much they prioritize IndyCar over NASCAR this year by listing the fan base and getting rid of the comic graphics for the drivers in the field. And that's not the funny part about all that. The funniest part of that whole thing is how NASCAR fans responded to that whole thing with Fox getting rid of the comic graphics for IndyCar. Because NASCAR fans, yeah, Bubba knows what's coming. Actually, Bubba, you want to leave? Here you go. Be free. Be free, my kitty. Because he knows what's about to come next. Because NASCAR fans, they took it about as well as you think. They did not take it well and threw massive temper tantrums everywhere over social media about it. It's like, honestly, who didn't see that one coming? Mainly, the main popular reaction was, yes, if Fox will listen to IndyCar fans bitch and complain for 2 weeks about the comic graphics and get rid of it, but they won't listen to NASCAR fans bitch and complain about it for 4 fucking years. It's like, well, that doesn't help when NASCAR's a goddamn clown show that doesn't deserve fucking respect, while IndyCar actually tries to be a real motorsport. While NASCAR pretends to be WWE on wheels, aka something that they are not. But honestly, with IndyCar fans even listening to with Fox listening to the IndyCar fans over NASCAR fans, it's honestly just karma to the NASCAR fans on social media for dunking on IndyCar last year when NBC prioritized NASCAR over IndyCar. All I say to NASCAR fans is, it doesn't feel good when the shoe is on the other foot, does it? Doesn't it? Karma's a bitch. But I would say maybe NASCAR fans will learn their lesson from talking so much shit to IndyCar fans. But then again, I keep forgetting what fan base this is, and NASCAR fans are so fucking dumb, and they have so many dumbasses in the fan base. Like, it's just, there are like so many dumbasses everywhere over NASCAR social media. To the point to where, you know what? I'm not even going to bother saying I hope they learn their lesson. Because the NASCAR community is mentally incapable of learning their lesson. And that's facts. That's facts. That's facts, bros. But yeah. Anyway, when the IndyCar finally did get the race coverage back, not much was really missed because Pato O'Ward was still dominating for anybody that kept track with Bob Pockrass's reports from the race. Since Pockras was at the IndyCar race and not the Cup race at Homestead. So yeah, and also the fact that Pockras is there, that should tell you how much Fox prioritizes IndyCar over NASCAR when they got good old Bobby P at Thermal instead of Homestead, Miami. But yeah, I think this race proves one thing. God hates IndyCar. That's gotta be and that God is also a NASCAR fan. That's the only explanation from this. Because I think with Fox losing the production for the race, I think this also kills any chance of IndyCar beating NASCAR in the TV ratings this week. Because IndyCar actually had a legit shot to possibly dethrone NASCAR in the ratings this week. Since both the Cup race at Homestead and the IndyCar race at Thermal were both head-to-head. Like, the Cup race started 10 minutes earlier, but the Cup race was on FS1, and IndyCar was on Fox. Like, IndyCar had a chance to dethrone the rating, to at least beat NASCAR in the ratings for the week that isn't Memorial Day week when it's Indy 500 versus Coke 600. IndyCar had a chance, and the electrical unit in the production truck fumbled the fucking bag. Like, all I say to IndyCar is, you fucking blew it. You had a chance to humble the NASCAR fan base for once. Like, you had that fan base right where you wanted them, and you just let them escape it to the damn woods. Or in this case, the damn desert in California. Like, honestly, that whole thing was fucking weird with what happened with the production truck losing the defeat to the race. That was fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie on that one. I know some people say maybe it's the California heat because it's in the desert and California was hot as hell for that race. I mean, yeah, if you make that argument, you're probably right. But at the same time, that's no goddamn excuse to lose the production to the race. Like, that's not a good look in year one with IndyCar on Fox. Like, out of all the positives we've had for it so far through 2 races, that's the big negative now on it. You know, my main hope is hopefully Fox and IndyCar learn from this and they fix the mistakes so this type of thing doesn't happen ever again. That was just fucking weird, though. But overall, to the race itself, though, it did get interesting after the last round of pit stops when Alex Palou would go on the soft tires while both McLarens went on the hards. And then Palou would proceed to run down both Christian Lundgaard and Pato O'Ward. Passing Lundgaard after a very hard battle between the two for second, where it was just back and forth every turn, where it looked like maybe when Palou had the position, Lundgaard would cross over and get the position back. It was actually a really great battle. Like, that battle was pure great racing. Like, that was just a great battle. Like, honestly, too bad that battle wasn't for the win. Both battles for win, because that would have been a great battle for the win. Like, that kind of racing between Lundgaard and Palou, that was just pure cinema, as the kids would call it these days. And then I just mentioned this, when they were battling, Palou was about 8 seconds back of Pato O'Ward. And within 4 laps, Palou caught right up to O'Ward and was right on Paddle's back bumper. Because at one point it was 8 seconds, I looked away, then all of a sudden it was 2 seconds. I was like, what the fuck? I think it just proves one thing. Alex Palou truly is him after all. Except the I in him is replaced with a 10. And then with 10 laps to go, how ironic, Alex Palou would get the lead from Paddle O'Ward. And once Palou got the lead, Palou would manage the tires and never look back, winning the race by about 9.5 seconds. After literally being behind Paddle O'Ward by that same gap with about 15 to go. As also the battle for the win between Palou and O'Ward was good. Not as epic as the battle between Palou and Lundgaard. But still a good battle. Not as cinematic as Palou-Lundgaard, but was still a good battle for the win. And then Palou got the lead and never looked back and won again and wins for the second time this year. So Alex Palou is already 2 for 2 to open the IndyCar season. So Palou really picking right back up where he left off. As you can really tell how bad Palou wants that three-peat this year. He really wants it bad, winning 2 in a row. But yeah, I think this race proves one thing. No matter how dominant McLaren was in this race, or how dominant or how fast of a car you had, it doesn't matter because Alex Palou is him, and Alex Palou is just goddamn inevitable. And don't worry, if you're sick and tired of Palou winning all the time, don't worry. You're going to get chances to see Palou not win this year. You just gotta wait until the end of May for the first oval race, aka the Indy 500. Can you hang on for 2 more months? Or is that too long a wait for fans? All I say to everyone complaining about Palou's winning is just shut the fuck up and acknowledge greatness, goddammit. Alright, sometimes when it's your time, it's your time. And when you're him, you are fucking him. And Alex Palou is fucking him. I'm not even a Palou fan, but at least I acknowledge greatness. And Palou is truly him. But yeah. Also, hey, Verstappen, Alex Palou could beat the McLaren cars today. How come you can't do that in F1 anymore? Honestly, fuck putting Yuki Tsunoda in that second Red Bull seat. Maybe we should put fucking Alex Palou in that second Red Bull seat. He might actually beat fucking Verstappen and humble the Orange Army. That would probably cause the Verstappen fans to throw a shit fit. If Palou got that second ride and then beat Verstappen. That would be funny though, not gonna lie. But yeah, maybe this race was a sign that IndyCar shouldn't go to thermal anymore. I mean, last year was a stupid exhibition. This year it was a caution-free race. I mean, it didn't get interesting really until Palou went on the Reds and ran down both McLarens at the end. Because McLaren looked like they had in the bag until Alex Palou decided to whip his dick out and prove why he's him. But yeah, overall, solid race, but too bad Fox fumbled the bag and IndyCar's going to lose to NASCAR in the ratings again. When it looked like IndyCar had a chance. Don't worry, IndyCar. Someday you'll beat NASCAR in the ratings in a week that isn't Memorial Day weekend. Someday. Just won't be this week. Maybe it won't be this week. You can try again in a couple weeks when you go to Long Beach. When that race goes head-to-head against the Spring Bristol race. Which actually, I think they could pull that off because Spring Bristol has struggled with TV ratings. So it is possible. But yeah, that wraps it up here. So yeah, see you all next week for the Modifieds race at Thompson. I'm out.